Hello and welcome back to Bohemian Dragon. I am your hostess Lori, and technical difficulties aside, we are live. All right, let's get this party started. Which means I actually have to get the chat up. 2 seconds. I can do that. All right, chat is now up. I can actually talk to you guys. I don't know where that accent came from. I have no idea. All right. So, I wanted to say a huge shout out and thank you to Erica of the Orphic Tarot before we get started today. Erica, thank you again so much for your wonderful interview last week. I really, really appreciate it. It was great talking to you. And I hope you guys had the chance to check out the Orphic Tarot and share it on if you could. It was greatly appreciated. So, this week we have a few decks to go over because I went back through and tried to figure out what I had missed, what I'd covered, what I haven't covered, all of that from my past lives, and discovered that there were several decks that I had covered um, in a prior video that unfortunately was the same video I had to take down because of issues. So we're going to recover those today and then a few others. So let's start with the Entanglement Tarot. Now, this is a fairly, from what I've seen of it, is a fairly non-traditional-esque deck. Um, okay, come on, Kickstarter, behave. It's a hex-shaped tarot deck, so not normal standard cut. I tend to not collect these style of decks because they are harder to shuffle, but I know there's a community of tarot lovers out there that really love these non-traditional shaped decks. So this is a hex-shaped tarot deck designed for use in rituals, ritual spellcraft and spellcasting. So there's a video. Let us watch. Oh, I gotta turn it down. With a psychedelic twist. It is an interesting concept seeing the hexagonal shape so that you can use it to form patterns for ritual purposes. Like if you're setting out like something like a spread on an altar for like say a spell or a ritual or for manifestation purposes. It's a unique concept that way. I mean, you can use a regular deck, in that way as well, but this brings kind of an added element to it with like the gate symbolism and stuff. So that's very interesting. Oh, she just lit straight juniper. If that was me, my allergies would be going through the roof. Catchy background music. I'm pretty certain it's probably copyrighted, so I'll probably get dinged on this, but that's okay. YouTube has this beautiful feature now where I can remove music audio, just music audio from things, so that way I don't get taken down. But if my channel is ever not here for some reason, you guys will know what happened. What too many pieces of copyrighted music. That's why I I talk to tarot deck creators when they're talking, and I'm talking to them about launching their Kickstarter. Like, please do not use copyrighted music in your videos. It makes it so hard on those of us that are trying to promote and share your stuff. Because every time we get slammed for it, it's so bad. All right. Uh, guys, hold on 2 seconds. I'm gonna mute you guys, and then you're gonna see me talking, but hold Sorry, I could smell cooking and youngest is making ramen. All right, so let's scroll down. 78 hex shaped cards, 350 GSM matte finished art paper. Square lidded box is 3 by 3.25 by 3.5 by 1.25. Cards are 3 inches long when measured from one point to another. Okay, so they're smaller cards. They're like yay big. So about the size of the palm of my hand. All right. Um, the Entanglement Tarot is a deconstructed tarot. Instead of cards which display a consistent narrative, these cards display the elements of the traditional tarot narrative broken down into pieces. By taking this approach, we give ourselves the freedom to weave these elements together in a new way. Sacred geometry, that was the words I was looking for. And flower of life patterns, that was the other thing I was looking for. Like, I know the words, they're like there in the back of my head. I think this is a very unique approach. I would love to see this maybe taken more in a oracle and like maybe like a manifesting, intuitive manifesting style of sorry, I'm watching my cats in the background and like they're doing something weird. Um, it's so distracting. This is part of the problem with having a window like shining in on me in my office. Is like my ADHD gets distracted by what is going on outside. Because the wildlife here between cats and regular wildlife gets kind of interesting. Anyways, but I would love to see like maybe another deck made similar to this where it's like manifestation, intuitive manifestation, things like that, because I have several of the flower of life and sacred geometry patterns and pendants hanging up on my wall for in my bedroom for ritualistic purposes and protection, and it would be interesting to have like maybe stickers of this, so you can use it in notebooks and journals and whatnot, or even maybe like thinner paper tiles that could be then, put into things or used in like spell bottles or whatever. I don't know. It's a great concept and it could be taken even further than I think I think it's hold on. I don't want to misquote. Sarah. Um, has already taken this. So I really would like to see this get completely funded for her. She's currently said, oh, so she's already funded. Great, that's good. So she's got 3 days to go on this. All right, so that's the Entanglement Tarot. Do, 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 do. We've covered the Wandering Traveler Tarot deck before, but if you guys get the chance, please share this out. She's got 7 days to go, and she's not completely funded yet, and it really is a gorgeous deck, and I would love to see it funded. So now we're going to go to the Sea Glass Tarot. All right.
Hi, my name is Bailey. Welcome and thank you for your interest in my project, the Sea Glass Tarot. I started reading tarot for myself about 2 years ago. I found it very valuable and meditative, but it was frustrating how long it took me to learn and understand the nuances of each card. The most popular deck today, the Rider-Waite-Smith, initially provided a fresh, intuitive take on the archetypes of the tarot. In that same spirit, I wish to create a deck of my own with scenes and symbols which occur more intuitively to me and can be understood easily by beginners and longtime readers alike. At the same time, this deck does not entirely rely on symbols. If you observe the ocean and the natural world, you will understand it. I will also include a guidebook that explains the traditional meaning of each card and why I have chosen to depict them as I have. What you're looking at is a small test print. The only change I'll probably make is to give this deck gilded sides, but at this stage I would still take suggestions to increase accessibility. Thank you for joining me on this journey.
Holographic stained glass ocean themed tarot deck and guidebook. So she's looking for a 10,000 gold, which I'm assuming is because of the holographic nature. I mean, adding that many glint details to a deck, it does bump the price up quite a bit. Alright, says update. I can't change the wording of the reward, so please assume that for all instances of the tin I was going to use, we are now using a drawer box. Oh, something must have happened with the tins. Eh, not that big of a deal. Um, and if I was backing this, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. Um, the holographic foil is just gorgeous on this. My name is Bailey. I'm a freelance artist who's been interested in tarot for about 3 years and reading for two. I may not have ever had the guts to create and publish my own tarot deck if not for a series of timely misfortunes, namely COVID halting the world as we know it and a job at a hardware store that left me in so much pain I was limping for weeks after I quit. Ooh, that's not good. Um, yes. Hold on, guys. I'm getting lunch. Thank you. Mm. Ah, it smells amazing. What? Oh dear. Okay. She mixed ramens on me. Oh dear. It's spicy and chicken. Well, I'll eat that in a little bit. All right. Some days are ramen days. Anyways, all right. Since I was a child, the only thing I've ever set my sights on with so much conviction was to be an artist. I had let college, parents, and society convince me that I would have to suffer, delay, sacrifice, and grind at the wheel before I could be what I want to be, which unfortunately is what they tell a lot of artists. um, all right, I'm not going to keep going into that. All right. So she's got Hope of Healing, Stained Glass, and the Ocean. Sea Glass Tarot started as just the moon without any intention to expand into a full deck. I'd seen stained glass art on TikTok that inspired me more than anything else in a long time. While I didn't feel confident dropping everything for a new medium, I knew I could have fun creating that look with the means I already had. After realizing that I could create a deck, and in fact that there was probably no better time for it, I knew I wanted to make one that would be less elusive than all the ones I have seen. I respect the symbolism of my predecessors. I respect the artistic prowess of those making beautiful aesthetic decks full of pleasing geometry today. I respect that even the corniest New Age deck can have deep meaning for someone. This is true. I like eggs. Okay, hi Probot. I'm glad you like eggs. Not entirely certain what that has to do with tarot, unless you're talking about in ramen. Um, all right. Where was I? I respect that even the corniest New Age deck can have deep meaning for someone. However, I can't understand those decks. I hate the feeling of looking at a card and getting nothing from it because it was imbued with overwhelming meaning, not enough meaning, or outdated symbols. If I'm being completely honest, there were also parts of the structure, art of traditional tarot that didn't sit right with me. So my deck's art, I promise you will find no. Okay. Um. Yes, I do like eggs. I eat them rather frequently, actually. Uh, okay. Um. All right. The ocean holds deep personal meaning to me that I couldn't begin to describe here. So it sounds like I'm really digging the stained glass. Deck specs 4.75 by 2.75, which is considered traditional now. Cardstock is 350 GSM art paper, pleasantly stout, but will not stop a determined bridge shuffler. Okay. Comes in a sturdy holograph laminated drawer box with a ribbon pull. Guidebook will be small enough to fit in the box. Color cover, black and white inside. Okay. These are really pretty. She says the biggest challenge is that she's one person and can only do things so quickly, highly motivated, and good at pacing. She says money will be refunded if things go awry or I don't meet the goal, but if not, you will be delivered a rare and beautiful tool. Oh. Well, it's very cool of her to state, would you rather eat an egg that is a... There's a... Probot, Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So next we have. Wait, did I save this? Hold on. I don't remember if I shared this one out. I don't think I did. My bad. All right. Nope, I didn't. All right. Well, there we go. Now it's getting shared. All right. Oi. Okay. Uh-oh. Did it do a thing on me again? It did. Okay. Every now and then, Kickstarter's search goes really weird. Why is it doing this to me? Okay, fine. We'll do Bay Magic then. Because I'm only sharing with you guys the ones that I've actually researched because we're not having another incident um of last time. Okay. So why is the one I'm not I don't know. Alright, we're gonna do this one next. Discord special. I was literally your only viewer. Why would you do this to me? Because you're coming in and you're botting in my stream. You're asking me random questions that have nothing to do with what I'm dealing with, and it's kind of rude. I mean, I wouldn't walk into one of your streams and just start randomly asking you questions about breakfast products. I would try to engage you in a conversation about whatever it is that you are streaming about. So, and the fact that you have a second account, and the first one was named Bot, and now this one is like Discord Special, that kind of tells me that you're just out to troll people. So, I mean, if you want to, actually engage in conversation with what I'm talking about, you're welcome to stay. But if you're just gonna sit here and troll me, okay, I was being respectful, and you decided to keep going. So, to me, you're just behaving like a troll. But if you don't see the difference, that's fine. Okay, literary tarot. So this one obviously clearly has met its funding goal. This one is a very interesting one and a very large. It's one of those a lot like the Aliman tarot where um, it's a collaboration of a lot of different people coming together and trying to put together a very cohesive deck. Only instead of it being, you know, like Seven did with the Elements Tarot, where it was, kind of this more grunge, Backstreet type, not like Backstreet Boys, but like Backstreet type of thing, where it kind of thrifting kind of tarot. This is done with a literary aspect and is a conjunction of um, authors and tarot cards. Okay. Clearly, these streams have gotten important enough that I have now attracted a troll. So I'm so glad that they have time out of their day to troll me. Um, all right, let us watch this.
The Literary Tarot unlocks the secrets of classic literature by pairing each card in the arcana with beloved literary characters. From Alice Adventures in Wonderland to the Monkey King's enchanted transformations in The Magician. Each card is thoughtfully paired with a classic story that embodies the themes of the major and minor arcanas. From Margaret Atwood, pairing the compassionate fire of Jane Eyre with the Queen of Light. to Roxane Gay, using the King of Parchment to pull back the curtain covering the portrait of Dorian Gray. Some of the biggest names in storytelling have joined forces,
Oh, thank you, Probot.
generously donating their time and literary prowess to support Brink's non-profit mission to use storytelling to change the world. So get ready, dear friends, to crack open the spine of your past, present, and future, all for a great cause, the Literary Tarot.
Yeah, I really like my background too. I've had this tapestry for, oh goodness, probably 20 years. I got it. Why did I get this? I got it at a fair from one of those weird bohemian vendors that you never see anymore. Oh, probably 20 plus years ago. It's one of my favorites. I have a huge love of blues and turquoises and greens and stuff, so I figured it was a great background. I don't always get it up though in streams because, well, it's kind of hard to put up, and sometimes I don't always get it in the right spot either. But thank you. All right. Okay. All right. So the Literary Tarot is for the Brink Literacy Project. They try to bring, they try to use their funding to bring books to, you know, people who are of poverty, people who are displaced, and this all pretty much the funding is going to go, whatever profits are made from this are going to go towards supporting that nonprofit. It's a very interesting thing where they have paired each, one or two cards with different authors. So they have authors like Margaret Atwood, Damien Barr, and each author was given a chance to work with, an artist. I think there's two artists on this particular project, and the author worked with the artist and then paired with a book that is considered part of the public domain. You're welcome, Probot. Have a good day. So, lots and lots and lots. Of course, there's 78 cards, so there's a lot of authors. Looks like it's an interesting tuck box. This one caught my attention when it first came out. I was considering backing it. The only reason why I didn't was because the suits, they went with quills, ink, parchment, and light, which is, they're nice. They're nice choices for reimagining of the suits. Unfortunately, some of the way they equate things didn't quite make sense, and they had ink instead of for cups. They had it for I think wands or something like that, which I'm like, that makes no sense. So I chose not to. It's still a really pretty deck and a great cause. So if you've not had a chance to check this out, please do so. All right. And the last but not least today, or actually there's two more, sorry. The Chromatic Fates. Now, I know I've talked about this deck before doing prequel stuff, but now it's actually been launched. And let's watch the video. This is an absolutely gorgeous deck, 78 different artists, but it still feels very cohesive. And this is a deck that I have backed. All right, so pulled together by Stephanie Cost. It says the Chromatic Fates is truly a labor of love. This deck is a fresh, sleek take on the Rider-Waite Tarot system. Each artist has put their heart and soul into researching their chosen card and depicting its meaning in a genuine and exciting way. While each drawing is impressive, seeing them all together is a really stunning experience. And as you can see, it starts from red and goes down through the colors. So this is an absolutely stunningly gorgeous deck. I'm very happy to be backing it. And I've been following this for quite a while. It says each card in the Chromatic Fates represents not only a moment of light and perseverance captured during 2020, but also a particular renaissance, I can talk, and connection to its illustrator. It is our hope that our emotions and our deeply personal experiences find their way to you, the tarot reader, through the symbols we've chosen, but also more simply and strongly through the inherent power of color. So, and then the different cards. I've shown a little bit of this before, so I'm not going to go into too much depth or detail. But each one of these cards is just, and I know I've said this before, stunning. Of course, there's the deck, the gift bundle, the collector's edition, and then canvas reproduction. And then they have some stretch goals. So, they have canvas prints, gilded edges, booklets. Alright. So, very neat deck. Very beautiful deck. Oops, left that one open. Alright. And now, last but not least, we have the Pacific Northwest Tarot. So, 78 card deck inspired by the nature and wonder of the Pacific Northwest. So, created by Brendan Marnall and based out of Portland, Oregon, so very near me. It says the Pacific Northwest Tarot is a full 78 tarot deck with each archetype of the tarot represented by a plant or animal that makes its home here in the Pacific Northwest. It's my pandemic art project, my year-long obsession, and my love letter to the region I live in. So, the deck, 78 cards, standard tarot size, 330 GSM stock, smooth matte finish, painted edges, hand-drawn digital artwork, hand-lettered number and tiles. Guidebook, 100 pages or so. Perfect bound short fiction for each card, tarot card size. The box, clamshell construction, magnetic flap, printed inside and out. Available extras are vinyl stickers, screen printed reading cloth, and tarot pet portraits, which is an interesting concept. Says the Pacific Northwest contains multitudes. Mountainsides rise to snow-covered peaks or eruption-scarred calderas. The seemingly endless coastline connects the land with the ocean. Redwoods reach skyward in temperate rainforests. Silvery rivers wend through arid desert basins that give way to grasslands painted in wildflowers. It's a bioregion of staggering diversity, a microcosm of the earth. He's not wrong. Let's scroll down. This deck is my own reconciliation of these two reflections, so deep subconscious and conscious thought. It's my associations, interpretations, connections between the ecosystem and the esoteric. In April of 2020, reeling from the changes brought on by the pandemic and an anxious of the first weeks of lockdown, yep, I started drawing each evening to distract myself and calm my nerves. Feeling like a bear in a hibernation, I drew a black bear as the hermit. Then came a northwest crow as the magician, gray foxes as lovers. Before I knew it, I was working on a project. For a long time, I didn't know how far I would get, just a few cards or maybe the 22 major arcana. Through research, I explored parts of the Pacific Northwest I couldn't visit in person. I developed my own perspective and associations on each card in the tarot, contemplating each one for hours or days as I drew my own version of it. In April of this year, I finished the artwork for all 78 cards in the deck. I'm now working through the guidebook and designs for packaging and extras. Each card in the Pacific Northwest Tarot depicts a plant or animal found in the region. They were selected through a combination of research and intuition. Many are native species, others are transplants or migratory, or in one case, evasive. I wonder which one was the evasive one. Scotch broom, maybe? The cards in this deck follow fairly typical tarot names, titles, and suits. I drew all imagery in the Pacific Northwest by hand using the iPad app Procreate. All numbers and text were hand lettered. And then here's the cards. Let's see. Guidebook is about 100 pages, will fit snugly inside the box. And then available stickers and available extras are stickers, reading cloth, and a pet portrait. Oh, I love the devil. It's a cat. Is your cat the devil? Does your dog exude Queen of Pentacles energy? Are your guinea pigs just the cutest little pair of lovers? Now you can forever capture your pet's esoteric alignment in a unique piece of custom artwork. How cute. Choose one card from the major arcana or court cards and send me some photos of your pet. I'll draw them in the style of the Pacific Northwest Tarot, including the border treatment and card name. Sorry, guys. I'll send you a high quality signed, and I always butcher this, Gisli, I don't remember how it's pronounced. Um, it's not one I can say very well. Art print on 11 by 14 paper, along with the digital file of the artwork. Neat. Purpose, making this project has helped me grow as an artist. Learn more about the natural world and manage my own stress during a difficult year. However, in August of 2020, the project turned on a new weight when over 1 million acres of land burned in the Pacific Northwest. Yes, that was a very horrific time period here. Forest Fire had already entered into the deck prior to the unparalleled burns of 2020. The tower, one of the first cards I drew, was inspired by the Eagle Creek fire of just 3 years earlier. It depicts a giant sequoia lit by flame, its ultimate fate to fall or survive left in the interpretation of the reader. In 2020, I saw my tower card multiplied across the west, and damn was it scary. For days we hunkered down as smoke filled the air, limiting our visibility to just a few blocks. We sealed our door with painter's tape to keep out the campfire smell, the remains of our forests stinging our eyes even indoors. Yeah. I have a kitten that was born during that time period, and because of all the smoke, she's partially blind. I realized it was not enough for this to be a personal project, a way to better myself and kill time during lockdown. Spending so much time learning about and drawing wildlife here, I built a connection, a sense of responsibility for the habitats of the region. I want to do whatever I can, however small, to protect this place and the life within it. I will find ways to use this project to give back to the region, and will share more details after the campaign. Hi, I'm Brendan. I live in the southeast Portland with my wonderful family, full-time designer, sometimes artist. Not originally from the Pacific Northwest, nor is he an expert on tarot. Oh. I always find it I find like the story of how people came to tarot interesting, because we all approach it. Those of us that really follow tarot, we all approach it from such different aspects. All right, artwork's all done. Shipping notes, and then policies. Um, all right. And then, of course, because of the new policies with VATs, he's asking UK backers to wait until after. So, this is a really pretty deck, and I am happy to see that he's fully funded and then some. So, I'm going to share this out, and I wish him the best of luck. Because, as Erica can attest, doing one of these is not an easy feat. So, all right, that is all I have for you guys this week. I hope to see you all next week, and I'm hoping to get another interview lined up, hopefully for either next week or the week after. I am in contact with two other tarot deck authors. Unfortunately, they don't have time as of yet, and one in particular, Matthew Pazel. Matthew, I'm so sorry, I keep butchering your name. Anyways, your last name. He is going to be dropping another tarot deck or starting another campaign for another tarot deck after he completes the one he's working on in the coming months, probably sometime in like September. August or September, depending upon when he finishes the first campaign. And I'm hoping to be able to score an interview. Well, he's already said he'll make time to do an interview with me when that next campaign launches. So that'll be a very interesting interview. And I hope all of you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will hopefully see you next week. Bye bye!